got to look at it too. In retrospect, like all the Conan stuff kind of went down with him and Leno last, spring or whatever it was. But this was like the standout moment on that show for up until that controversy happened. I
Right.
put the video up on my site, link up, and the amount of hits that and searches that swelled my little blog, just looking at Chris Cornell, Imagine, and people looking up about it. And I was like, oh well, and then I had to mention that, the guy from Crash Kings had played with him.
Yeah.
Just so I was like, well, now that people are really taking more of an effect to it, it really, I'm sure, did that do wonders for the rest of the band, you think? Or is it just kind of like something that, all right, this was you on a personal level, kind of like a dream come true, let's go on to the next thing,
Yeah, it's always like that. I think when you're doing stuff like that, it's like okay, on to the next thing, and it's your life, so it's not as crazy as it seems to other people. I think it's not as big, when it's just like me hanging out with Chris or whatever. It's like he's a great musician, and I know a lot of great musicians. We all know lots of great musicians, and I think it's when you just have this like common respect for one another. Like he obviously has a lot of respect for me and what I do, and I have the equal amount of respect for him. So it's sort of like, yeah, dude, we'll do it again. And he's asked me to do stuff.
Do it, man. Why not?
Yeah, well, I'm always on. We're busy. It's great that he thinks of me when he needs a piano player or whatever, and I'm sure we'll end up doing stuff together. I mean, he was talking about wanting to do some studio stuff at some point and whatever, and it'll happen, and it's a trip, but while it's happening, it's so real and it seems so right,
Right.
And I feel like, for me, it's like, I'm 30 years old and I've been playing piano for 25 years. Yeah, no shit, I should be playing with Chris.
It's like, yeah, fuck it, this has to pay off somehow.
I worked my ass off for all that to play, opening for Stone Temple Pilots and stuff like that. It's like, I feel like we all worked so hard, and everybody in our band, we deserve what we're getting right now, and we'll keep continuing to work hard because that's just part of our nature, and that's what we love, and that's just such a big part of us. And there's not a day that goes by that I either don't talk about it or think about how lucky I am to be in the position to just make music for a living.
Right.
So that's, it always keeps me grounded to realize that, I was a waiter at a restaurant and I did other crazy jobs just to support myself, So, but it's a great thing, and I'm really fortunate to have, Chris as sort of a mentor and a friend and everything, and he's just he's amazing.
Now, is there any words of wisdom that you give out for someone that's listening to this, that is starting out in a band and kind of has maybe some doubts or reservations, like, oh, maybe this, maybe I won't have that dumb luck that, Tony had. Do you still tell them to pursue it?
I say know that, like, the chances of getting, really big and huge are super small. Like, there's no doubt that is the truth, that we've been given opportunities that maybe 1% of all bands in the world get. My advice is to never give up, always work on it. The more hours you spend on your craft, obviously the better you're going to get, but you have to love it. You have to want it for the right reasons too. And I just think that, and then that's like half of it. The other half of it is just being a good person and putting out a good vibe and good energy into the world. That will come back to you so much. People pick up on that a lot. They, beyond being a good musician and all that, it's really about having a good energy in the world and just doing the simplest of things, like not lying and cheating and stealing and all that kind of stuff. Just, those are just like the super basic human things that I think a lot of people forget. And I think that having those and putting that good stuff into the world and just sharing your music and continuing and knowing that you'll never be as good as you want to be. If you always have that kind of those things in the forefront of your mind, like I'm never going to be, no matter how many people say, oh my God, you're the best piano player I've ever seen. It's not as good as I want to be. So as long as you keep continuing to push yourself and continuing to learn and know that there's so much to learn, that there's always the chance. And if you always keep that vision, and I think that's another thing that people lack is the vision. You have to visualize what you want for yourself and where you see yourself. You have to visualize yourself on a bigger stage than what the stage you're playing on with your band. See yourself playing on, at the Greek or at the, at all these big places and at these stadiums and stuff. And if you just keep visualizing that, then that'll also help you get closer to where you want. Somehow it works. I don't know why, but it's like visualizing yourself doing that is the biggest thing. If you can't see that for yourself, or you ever say I can't do it, or there's no way I can do it, then you're never going to do it. But if you say I can do it, I'm going to, and everybody looks at you like you're crazy and like you're an egomaniac, then you probably will do it.
But that's the brilliance of it, though.
Yeah. You can't listen to all the people that are trying to bring you down, because there's going to be way more people trying to bring you down up until that point when good things start to happen. And then people start turning their heads like, whoa, maybe there is something, Everybody tells us that, oh, yeah, good luck, it's super hard, this and that. Oh, yeah, of course, it's super hard, but whatever. That's what's so much fun about it, But, yeah, all those things, And still, at the end of the day, there's no guarantee that it's going to work out. But you have to love it for the music. You have to love it for that, and not for any other reason, like being famous or money or.
Right.
That's never going to happen. I still have no money.
That makes me feel better too.